there has been a lot of change at Tottenham in recent weeks. And today we kind of got a little video with Vinai talking about saying farewell to Daniel Levy and what that kind of holds for the future. So if you're new to the channel, please remember to like, share, comment and subscribe so you never miss a video. Yes, people, obviously there's no Hollie Hotspurs live tonight, so I thought, you know what, let's kind of dissect and debrief this kind of interview we've seen come out earlier today about Vinai sitting down and talking about where the club is potentially heading and answering a few questions. Obviously, it opens up with him again being asked some questions about Daniel Levy, what this means to the club. Obviously, he basically says that in the last 25 years, what a great job Daniel Levy's done in setting the great foundations for this football club. And then obviously since then, which I've kind of already spoken about in terms of my biggest pet peeve with Daniel Levy and the board in general is the fact that you can be successful off the pitch, but if you're successful on the pitch as well, you're going to bring in so much revenue. And I think this Europa League winning run for us has kind of opened the eyes open to the board in terms of what you can actually achieve and invest if you get performances on the pitch as well as off. So Vinai kind of talks about Daniel Levy and the great foundations he's done, you know, yada yada, about the great stadium, about the training facilities, about the media centre. And then he kind of goes on to what's kind of happening next in terms of the Lewis family are very much still involved. He talks about obviously the new guy Peter being a non-executive, kind of what I gathered in terms of not being Daniel Levy but more in a non-executive role, which is basically you're not involved in the day-to-day sort of things. You more just kind of help along the way from a further afield, so to speak. But if you're needed, you come and step in, but you're not there all the time. Whereas Vinai basically explains how Daniel Levy had a 24/7 role at Tottenham Hotspur, a full-time role, should I say. But then he also talks about obviously that these people in the Lewis family are going to now be more present. I think we saw as well at the weekend for the women's game, we saw Vinai there, and I think he was with a member of the kind of family. But he basically talks about how the fact that the younger generation are wanting to push the club even further. He then goes back to obviously talking about our Europa League win and how that's kind of, again, opened the eyes. Vinai then obviously talks about what's happening in the future in terms of me and probably a lot of other Spurs fans were kind of thinking, oh, if Daniel Levy's gone, does that mean we're gearing up to sell? He basically squashes that in the video and says, no, they're here to stay. We know there's been a lot of change. We're here to calm and steer the ship, I should say. Again, obviously it's going to be a lot of PR stuff, but I like how Vinai comes across. I like that he seems very down to earth. I just feel a bit more connected now, and I kind of see what's going on in the club. Whereas beforehand, we just thought that Daniel Levy was the evil master, etc., etc. But then he kind of also moves on to the fact that he was asked, now does that mean we've got a lot of investment? He basically says in a PR kind of way that there is backing, but obviously we need to play to obviously the rules with financial fair play, etc., etc. But there is backing, which makes me feel happy. With that being said, like I said, I just like the transparency. Yes, he can't tell us everything, but it's nice to have that connection. I feel we haven't had that in a very, very long time. And I think it's true. The amount of kind of change we've had, especially in the turbulence within the last, 5 months? Especially just getting over the transfer window as well. It's nice to have that kind of connection back with the club, and Vinai I think is the right person to kind of steer that. Obviously at the end of the video he talks about what he came in to do in terms of obviously connecting back with fans, which I think he's doing, and just kind of again making this team what we're proud to have. And like he keeps saying, we've got the foundations, it's now to push on, be better at recruitment, build everyone together to push this team forward. And I really, really think this could be the turning point. Like we said, we were all waiting for the day for Daniel Levy to kind of be, not booted out, but for him to kind of take a step back. That's finally come, okay? It might not mean that ENIC are going to sell up and leave, or the Lewis family are going to not have the reins over the thing, but I feel like now we're progressing in a good way. and I'm excited to see what comes. It's been a long time I felt like this. Like I say, it's amazing to win the Europa League. That's all we had to do for them to finally open their eyes up. But no, I'm very pleased. Let me know what you kind of thought. If you've watched the video already or you haven't, go check it out. But let me know your thoughts in the comment sections below, how you feel this could be a turning point for Spurs and what the future may hold. Like I say, there's no Hollie Hotspurs tonight, obviously, but we'll be back on Thursday where I'll be interviewing Paul Miller, Spurs legend, that again won trophies at the club. So make sure you tune in for that one. And until next time, come on you Spurs.